Hey there, this is Pat Ennis of Ennis Legacy Partners. Welcome to the Exit Readiness podcast. I'm here with co-host Walter Dial and my business partner Corby McGordon. He's also with us here today. Our mission here on the Exit Readiness podcast is to provide you, the business owner, with subject matter expertise on topics pertaining to building sellable or transferable business value, and then for planning for your eventual exit from the business. We want to help you build a business that's transferable and then help you exit on your own terms and your own conditions. As this is the first episode of the new year, we want to just mention a couple of things here before we get into today's conversation about life after the business. First, for those of you who have been regular listeners, you know that Walter, my trusted co-host, has always been introduced as a CPA and a tax partner of a regional accounting and advisory firm. Well, as of December 31st, he is now retired as a tax partner. He's still a CPA, but he's retired as a tax partner after 35 plus years. And that's really quite incredible because he tells us he's 45. And now when he's working, if he's working, it's going to be with Ennis Legacy Partners, focused on helping our clients exit successfully. So we're all excited about that and how he's going to even more help Ennis Legacy Partners with our clients in 2025. Walter, anything you would say now that you've been retired?
Thanks, Pat. No, I'm really looking forward to pretty much doing nothing but working with you guys and our small business clients. I mean, those are the clients that we love working with. So I'm really looking forward to that. I was going to ask you if we do this Zoom at 11 o'clock. I was thinking maybe we could push it back to noon so I don't have to get up so early.
Yeah, see, it's already starting. No, the answer is no. Matter of fact, I might move it back to 10 or even 9:30. Okay, so yeah, fantastic. Then a couple of other recommendations here at the first of the year is now is a good time. There's not a better time to start planning for your eventual exit. If you've yet to do so, then right now at the start of the year. If you didn't listen to our last episode of 2024, an exit planning checklist, it will provide you with a high-level framework as to what to focus on. So think about listening to that. You could also find that checklist in a blog post on our website at ExitReadiness.com. Then consider reaching out to us for a copy of our Exit Routes ebook, which describes all the pros and cons of all potential exit routes, and it's got some worksheets in it. You can reach us at email at nslp.com for that. And then too, you know what? If you benefit from today's episode, please hit the like button and then share it on your social media. Our audience has been growing and we want to see it continue to grow, and we would be grateful for that. Okay, so now for today's conversation, if you've been a regular listener, you've heard us mention over and over, you might be sick of hearing it, how statistics show that a large percentage of business owners are miserable within 2 years of leaving their business. As a successful business owner, they've experienced purpose, meaning, significance through the years in serving all of the different stakeholders that they've served as a business owner. And if they don't plan to replace that purpose and meaning somehow after they leave, then they end up unhappy. They may realize, and we've experienced this, a fantastic financial transaction at sale at the deal table. But if life no longer has this sense of purpose and significance that they've realized as a successful business owner, then the odds are that they're not going to be happy. They're not going to have a happy life after the business. And so we want to help you avoid being one of those statistics. And so that's today's conversation. It's going to be focused on planning for life after the business here, first of the year. So that right there puts some emphasis on this. It's very important. It's a key component of planning for your exit and for it to be successful. And so our topic today is the Ikigai blueprint, discovering passion, purpose, and potential. We're going to discuss Ikigai, which is a Japanese philosophy that can help you, serve you in planning for this purposeful life after you leave the business. And our guest today is Joe Markovitch. And Joe, he's a certified exit planner like us. As a matter of fact, he works alongside of us. He's a business advisor, and he is the co-founder of Solly's Bagelry. And he's got over 30 years of business experience in the Vancouver market. He's just recently got married and moved here to the D.C., Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area. And we're glad to have him here. His personal business exit experience, which you'll probably hear a little bit about here in a second, and the reality that I mentioned, that 75% of business owners are not happy within 2 years, has motivated Joe to help serve owners in transition. He's really passionate about it. He's passionate about guiding owners along a path to leaving the business on their terms and conditions, but with excitement and a sense of anticipation of the next act and what's going to happen. So he's certified as an exit planner. I mentioned that, I think, just like us, he's got 30 years of business ownership experience. And we're just excited to have Joe with us today and working alongside of us. So Joe, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Pat. Great to be here.
Excellent. And if I can wake Walter up, I think he's going to get us started today.
Yeah, he's just in the first year of retirement. We know what happens after year one.
Yeah, you can kind of see the way my brain works now. Pat just did like a 2-hour introduction or something. The only thing that caught my attention was the bagelry.
Okay, that hurts. 2 hours.
Is there a way to use this relationship to give free bagels, or what's the story with that?
Yeah, well, you'd have to speak with my ex-wife about that.
Oh, ex-wife. Okay, forget the bagels. So, Joe, let me ask you. Let me just start by saying, my interactions with you I'm always impressed with how passionate you are about helping business owners plan for life after the business. I mean, was there a specific event in your life that pushed you in this direction, or how'd you get started and how'd you become so passionate about it?
Yeah, as I just mentioned, I was partners with my wife in a business in Vancouver that we founded in 1994, a bakery business that specialized in bagels and other kind of European style pastries. Well, we had great success with that business. The business from day one just took off like a rocket. And we spent the next number of years trying to catch up to the demand that was there. Unfortunately, it took a toll on our relationship. And we found ourselves in a place after a number of years, 16, in fact, that we could no longer work together nor kind of be together. And the problem we had was we didn't have a buy-sell agreement. We had no kind of plan. And we were stuck in a position where we couldn't kind of get along, we couldn't work together, and yet we had no path out of the business. So as a result, it became a bit of a struggle between our lawyers, and finally the outcome of that was that she ended up buying me out, and the lawyers ended up making a lot of money. So I found myself at the end of that experience waking up one day and not feeling I had retired, but feeling I was lost. I established this business. People used to call me by the company name, Solly. Said, "Hey, Solly, how are you?" And I had this identity that was so embedded in who I was and what I did that it just felt like really, I guess this identity was lost. And I found purpose and meaning in my work. we were doing something that was meaningful for me. We were honoring the traditions of the baking of my ancestors and my family and all that, and it had real deep emotional meaning for me. So I was left in a position where I had to reinvent myself. And I found that process, there wasn't really a way for me to do that other than kind of poke around and try different things. And I did that for some time until I kind of discovered a home in business coaching. I became a business advisor, helping small business owners start and grow their business. And I was really became quite excited about that because I was taking what I'd learned and I was sharing that, that sort of sense of purpose and meaning in your life. And I realized that in my experience in working with many business owners in various industries, that there was no kind of end game. It was all about kind of growth and growth and growth. Next year we want to grow and grow, but there was no kind of end game and purpose to that. And I was really sensing that there was a gap in what we were doing as business advisors. And I discovered this practice of exit planning, which I never even knew existed. And it was like a wake-up call. It was just like a light went off. It said, wow, that's exactly what I want to be doing. That's where we need as a business advisors to close the gap. I mean, ultimately, you invest so much of your life and energy and money and time into this business that some day you want to have not only just a return on that investment, but you want to leave your business in a way that you can feel good about it, and you want to also feel that like your life is not over. So when I discovered exit planning, I realized that it not only gave me a new sense of identity and purpose, but it also offered me an opportunity to really help others, to maybe perhaps plan for that ultimate transition. We say that, every business owner is going to leave their business eventually, ready or not, and many of them think the end of that process is just when they get that check, for the business, and that's the end. Well, that in a way, I think, is just the struggle that many owners are facing. And when I saw those statistics, about 75% of owners report having profound regrets a year after or so they leave their business, I thought, what is it that we're doing as business advisors to help these owners prepare for that time? Many of them have 30 plus whatever years left of life. And it's important that they not only leave their business on their terms, but they are excited and motivated about their next act, about what they're going to do next. That's where I got really excited. And so that's my story, and that's what's really motivated me to get up every morning and do what I do.
That's very cool. Yeah. So Joe, the term Ikigai, it means like purpose for life. And when we think exit planning as business owners, it can almost seem like there's an element of, okay, well, go sit on a mountain, let go, let God kind of thing. But there's a real practical, tangible benefit to grasping this concept and actually moving into it. Can you unpack that a little bit?
Sure. I think my son actually introduced me to this concept of Ikigai. I've been to Japan a couple of times, and I really find the culture there very interesting. And when I heard of this term Ikigai and meaning purposeful work, meaningful work, I was really struck by it because I thought, well, why do people want to work? There was this concept of retirement, is that you've been working, and all of a sudden you sit back and you don't have to work. That's a thing that we're all working towards. But yet that seemed to me something seemed missing in that. Like, is that what life is about? Is just to kind of work for 30 years and get a gold watch and then sit back and watch the sun set? I never felt like that, and I don't think many owners do either. Business owners tend to want to keep moving forward. They're always thinking about, next year, and all that stuff. What are we going to do next year? So this concept of Ikigai really struck me because there is no word in Japanese for retirement. And I'm thinking, wow, that is really interesting. Why is that? And because they believe, as a philosophy, that doing something productive and meaningful in your life uh, is ultimately the secret to maintaining a healthy and active life as you age. So Ikigai is a philosophy, but it's also a practice. Okay, so this is the model of Ikigai, and there's four concentric circles. And the first circle is what you love. That's about doing something that you would do even if it didn't get paid for it. For me, I'm a musician. I love to play. Someone says I've got a gig, go out and play my guitar. I would do it just because I love to do it. The second circle is what you're really good at. You know what people tell you, you're really good at this, you're really good at that. So you've got something what you really love to do and something what you're really good at. And this third circle is what the world needs. You can be really good at something, you can really love doing it, but if there's no interest in it, if no one cares about it, it's not going to deliver what ultimately is the reward. And that's what they call what you can be paid for. So paid to me means could be monetary, or it could be just appreciative. It could be some acknowledgement. It could be like that. And when where those four circles connect, where those circles connect, that's your Ikigai. So it's a combination of passion and mission, profession, vocation, and that is the concept. So when I looked at, so what you can do is you can almost take an idea, say for example, exit planning, an exit planner. So I took this idea of exit planning. Well, what I love, I love doing exit planning. I really think it's an important work that we're doing. I feel a sense of purpose. It gets me up in the morning. I feel like I'm doing something. I relate to the owners because I've been there. I understand what they're dealing with. What I'm really good at, well, from the feedback that I've had and working with business owners over a number of years and doing exit planning, it's been positive. And what the world needs, well, we know that 80% of business owners are planning to retire or transfer their business ownership in the next 5 to 10 years. So there's a huge number of business owners out there that need that, and what you can be paid for. Of course, that's what we charge for what we do because it's a valuable service. And so it works for me. But if I took myself like a musician, for example, here's another example. Yeah, I love to play music. I think I'm really good at it. The world needs it. Well, I think the world needs music, but can you get paid for that? It's very difficult to make a living. So you see how that doesn't work. So you can take an idea that you have and you can run it through that kind of process and see whether it actually it ends up kind of fitting those four categories. And that's in essence what Ikigai is about, but it's only really part and parcel for what this program that we're developing is, which is around helping owners to reinvent themselves, to reignite that fire in their belly, right? To discover what it is that's going to continue to give them that same kind of sense of purpose and meaning that they had from their business. And that's what our Next Act, Exit Readiness Next Act program is all about.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying is that in a way, a successful business owner has already functioned that way, whether they had the paradigm or not, and you just don't turn that off. And understanding that really helps kind of expand and fulfill the concept of what is the next act. Those elements have to be functioning, right?
Yeah. And I think it's almost, when I look at the exit planning process, we do this and we think about, the ultimate path is to take the owner from, getting clarity about strategy through the, recommendations and implementation, all that stuff to finally making the exit. But, we all have seen owners who tend to procrastinate planning. I think they say that only about 20% have any kind of a plan in place. And my sense of it, and what I've read from the research, is often that is a fear-based thing about what are they going to do? Like their business is their life. Like what are they going to do after? So if we can help them get clarity about their next act, if we can help them really get excited about the future, they're going to be, they're not going to be dragged and pushed out of the business. They're going to be walking towards it because they're walking towards something as opposed to away from something. So I think it's an important distinction there.
Hey, Joe, is this an opportunity? I'm not, this is the first time I've seen your illustration, which is very helpful. But one way I kind of look at it is, once you've sold your business, is this an opportunity to do the things that you love and you're good at and maybe the world needs, but you were never going to get paid for it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I said, paid for could be a reward. There needs to be some kind of, even if I play music and I don't get paid for it, the feedback that I get from the audience, enjoying what I'm doing, maybe they're dancing, maybe they're clapping, all that, that's reward. That's considered reward. So it doesn't have to be monetary, but there needs to be something coming back.
Yeah. So, hey, Joe, you mentioned the word procrastinate a second ago, which regular listeners have heard that word before, not a few times. When it comes to this kind of planning, let's talk about when this should start. Because what we've found, haven't we, is that this piece here can often be not just procrastinated, but completely neglected, because the owner can think, oh, I'll have plenty to do. I just can't wait, and I'm going to get on my boat. I'm going to go golfing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. There's not going to be any problem for me finding something to do. And so either they don't plan at all, or they certainly procrastinate. What would you have to say about timing of when to begin a planning process for this very important issue?
Well, I think what I do generally is in my work with business owners is, after we've kind of established the fundamental objectives of the exit and what the owner's ideal exit looks like, and figured out some strategies for getting there and kind of getting a sense of direction. And I tried to kind of introduce that. And we do some personal visioning exercises, and we talk about their time, how are they spending their time an hour, and start to allocate those hours to other things they're going to be doing. But if they talk about, I'm going to be golfing, 5 days a week, I'm going to be doing all this stuff, I want to seismic test some of those things with them before they leave. Well, let's try that. Why don't you take off every week? Why don't you devote some time to this exercise you think is going to be meaningful and fulfilling to you, and see how it feels. And I think that's ultimately one of the ways that owners can really get a sense of a reality about whether those activities, things are activities, I can do this, do that. But what really comes to the top, and what the statistics and reflect, is that those activities lose their don't have the same sense of meaning and purpose that their business did. So while it may take up their time, they don't feel that they're getting, they're making a meaningful difference in their life or in the lives of others. And that's where values come in. We talked about this, and core values and all that are really guiding principles for helping to define what that next act looks like. And I was talking to you about those owners. So whether you're an owner who's going through this exit planning process now, or whether you've already exited and you're one of the 75%, that's come to the realization that, hey, maybe retirement is not all it's cracked up to be. This might be something for you to look at.
Yeah, and the statistics that we've cited today, what's always been interesting to me is the time frame of like 2 years. When the unhappiness starts to set in, it's kind of like up until that point, golfing or boating, whatever it is, it's been great, it's been fine. But then, and boy, hadn't it been fun to wake up and not have to do anything that I don't want to do today. But then something happens, it seems, based on statistics and research, at the 2-year mark where something happens, and if that purpose and meaning and significance has not been planned for, that's when things can start to spiral downstream.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about that time frame?
It's the honeymoon phase. We've heard of the honeymoon phase, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the honeymoon phase in a sense. Just like everything is new and exciting, and you feel this new sense of freedom and all that that happens, and ultimately, like anything that you do repetitively for a period of time will get boring, especially if there's nothing that's coming back to you. I think that's what that experience kind of tells me, is that, yeah, all these owners who have dreams and plans of what they're going to do when they retire, they spend 6 months fixing those projects that they had sitting on their workshop for a number of years. They go golfing and things like that, but after the project's done, the fence is painted, and they've golfed their heart out, then they kind of wake up thinking, is this all there is? And that's what I think. It takes that time for them to come to that realization. But the advantage that owners who are now in the process of planning have is they can learn from the experience of others, right? They can learn from the experience of others. They can say, well, you may not think it's going to happen, but it looks like it does. So maybe I should kind of be proactive in taking some steps now to at least get some framework in place, to test some ideas, to maybe go through a program like ours, to really get clarity about what life after business is going to look like, and what is going to be that, I like to call it reignite, rather than retire. Let's refire, let's refire that energy and that enthusiasm, that joie de vivre, for joy for life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So as we wrap up here, Walter, Corby, any last questions or thoughts from you? Things that we maybe haven't covered?
Not for me. I think this has been really, really good. Very, very, very informative, Joe. Really appreciate it.
Very timely for you, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like it.
Okay. I'm going to ask you about contact information here, but before I do, any last thoughts from you, Joe?
Yeah. One more thing. I think, the thing, these profound regrets and unhappiness like that, you've got to realize that has impact on your physical and mental health. That these can lead to dis-ease and depression and all other kinds of unwanted outcomes. So it's not just about coming up with your new identity. It's actually helpful to your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being.
You know what? That's a key insight, because to this point, until now, we haven't had a real defined process to help an owner think through in detail this piece. We've done it from a high level, cursory kind of perspective, and one of the goals that's often put forth for life after the business is focus on mental and physical health. Well, this helps put meat on those bones, right? Creating this plan will help ensure that indeed you are going to be healthy in those ways after you leave. Okay, so Joe, go ahead and promote our product here of ExitReadiness Next Act. just give a
Yeah.
commercial about that.
Well, just to give you a quick overview of it, it's a 90-day program where we work through 3 different phases of planning, a reinvention, rediscovery of identity and purpose. It's a unique approach because we use a variety of different tools and assessments to figure out really, your strengths, your core values. We start to do some exercises in between. Each week, we're making progress towards getting more clarity. And ultimately, the outcome from this is going to be, the owner really having clarity about what they're going to do, not just what they're going to do, but why they're going to do it. And I think that's almost more important is that mission, that sense of personal mission. I work one-on-one with the owner and to help them go through this structured process that we've created to, identify their new purpose and meaning. And in fact, we want to have them come out of this feeling like excited about what they're going to be doing. Being clear about what the future looks like, being excited about the future. And we are excited about launching this program and excited to talk to owners who are in the process of leaving or are have already been out of the business for a couple of years and want to kind of get back at talking about what they're going to be doing with their life now. And so that's kind of an overview of the program. Yeah.
Fantastic. And listeners, if you want to reach out to Joe and talk to him about it, you can reach out to him at email@nslp.com or through our website. You can contact him through our website, nslp.com. And then listeners, if you want help in planning here at the beginning of the year or anytime during the course of the year, and either planning for life after the business, like we've discussed today, or your eventual exit from the business or building transferable value, then you can contact us at email@nslp.com or by phone at 301-859-0860. And if nothing else, please take advantage of the free planning resources that you can access on our website at ExitReadiness.com. Again, if you've benefited from today's episode, please like and share it. Until next time on the Exit Readiness podcast, this is Pat Ennis and Walter Dial with Corbin Gordon signing off. Thank you.